is a music production degree worth it? Is it worth spending thousands upon thousands of dollars just to hold a piece of paper in your hand that states that you are a trained music industry professional? Now, just by my choice of language, you might realize that I'm slightly biased. Apologies for that, but this is obviously going to be a little bit of an opinionated piece here. So I've been an autodidact in this industry forever. So I never studied electronic music or music production. I just took a couple of piano lessons as a kid, and a little bit later as a teen I took some electric guitar lessons, and that was about it. After that, everything that I did in terms of music production was completely self-taught. And that meant I was reading nerdy books every night. I was just training with super cheap equipment. When I had the time, I recorded my friends' bands, I recorded my own band. And so I did everything I could to just expose myself to as much training as possible. Now, back then there weren't that many YouTube tutorials and online courses out there. And so I still had to learn it a little bit the hard way. I would say it's a bit easier today because you have great resources at your disposal, completely for free or at least very affordable. Now, that being said, I still think it depends whether you are the type for this or not. You could also be the type that resonates really well with getting an official degree and not having to self-study. So this is a very personal decision, and this is why even if I'm biased towards the autodidact, self-taught type of approach, I still think that it's totally worth considering doing a full-time music production degree. Now, interestingly enough, my dog's going crazy. Interestingly enough, I was exposed to this world of degrees and so on because I started to teach this kind of stuff at a very well-known electronic music university here in Berlin. So it's called Catalyst Music. It's a really good one. I can definitely recommend it wholeheartedly. And I was giving master classes and studio workshops and so on in this institute on a freelance basis when I established myself in Berlin. Now, the interesting thing here is that I realized that some people who were taking these classes would have definitely not needed them. So they would have been capable of studying on their own, and they would have gotten exactly the same results, but without spending that type of money, which they could then invest in something else. But then on the other hand, there were people who benefited extremely from this classroom vibe and having support by their peer group, and also having a teacher that they could talk to and directly interact with. So that means you have to find out for yourself what type of student you are. And it doesn't matter if you want to do this professionally full-time or if you just want to get better at your hobby. It could still be worth it. But find out for yourself what type of person you are and if this suits your needs or not. Because the people who gravitate more towards the self-taught, autodidact type of side usually are the more rebellious people. So this is definitely true for myself. I always had a problem with dealing with authorities and accepting that a teacher knows something that I don't know. So I was always a little bit of a smartass. And so in the end, it probably was a good idea for me. But then when I saw some of the great lessons over there at Catalyst Institute and some of the other teachers, I was secretly jealous. I wished a little bit that I have had this type of experience back then. So I hope you find out for yourself what resonates with you more. There are many options besides getting a degree. So a degree can cost up to $60,000 per year or even more on some of the more prestigious universities. And there's also something in between. So you could take online courses, you could do a little bit of private mentoring with someone, and maybe that already helps you go through those more difficult topics that you cannot really grasp on your own. So find out for yourself and leave a comment below what you came up with, what you find works for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.